Hey everyone, this is Ian C. Before we get to our game today, Forbidden Desert, I just kind of wanted to let you know a couple of things that are happening here on this channel. The first thing I want you to know is that you can buy most of these games through the links below. So if you're interested in a game that we're playing or reviewing, just click the link below and then you'll be able to find those games and purchase those games for yourself. And of course, any purchase made through those links, a portion of that links you to Amazon. A portion of that goes back to this channel that helps us out. And if you want to donate, for now, what I've done is I've set up Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, which is a platform that is in some way similar to Patreon. And I haven't done a Patreon account yet, but I'm going to get to that. But if you like what we're doing and you want to support us, those two ways are going to be really helpful. And as soon as I get a Patreon account, I will be relinking that account also to all these. So thanks a lot, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Board Game Life. I'm your host Ian C, and today we are playing Forbidden Desert. And I'm really excited about this because on my very first episode we played Forbidden Island, and the content is basically the same, but instead of fighting off an island, on this one you're fighting off the desert. So as you can see, it's totally unopened. I am going to go ahead and open it up. Now, nobody can accuse me of being overkill here by opening up these board games. My knife is way too big for this job here, but let's have a look here at what we're doing. So we're going to open up this game, and this is how much I paid for it. $26.95. I don't know how much it costs. That's how much I paid for it. All right, and once again, like the last game, it comes in a nice tin box. So see that, and I'm sure everything is related to surviving this island here on this game. So that's the front, that's the back. Here is the card stock and the directions on the inside. It's nice, really nice. Tells you what is going on here, and here is this. I'm going to imagine that this is like the water one was on the island where the water raised. I think this is going to be where the island raises up. And let's see what else we got in here. We've got something, I don't know. Oh yeah, like just advertising for other toys and games, and your own personal talk to us. What do you think about the game? Thank you, send it on in. Well, let's look at what the pieces that we have here. We have this piece, and we're going to find out what all this means in a minute. That. Whoa, look at those. Okay. These pieces here. And a sundial of some kind. And these, not sure what those are. And some cards, like on the last one, and then here's something else, and I really don't know what these are yet. Okay, so we will learn how to play this together, and then we've got this thing here. Well, I think this is like the desert, like the last one was. So this was the desert part, because they've got desert on one side and then that on the other side. So I'm sure that they flip over like they did in the water one. And on this one, these seem to be like sand tiles. And if I'm looking at the front of it and the back of it, these somehow go on here as you're playing the game. So that's everything in there. If you want to have a closer look here, that's the front of the board. That's the back of the board. Come on in closer for a closer view. These are guys, and this maybe looks like it goes here somehow. Oh, where is the? There we go. Messed it up.
guess that goes in there. Cool. All right, let's learn how to play the game.
All right, let's talk about how to play the game. First of all, you want to get your board set up correctly. So you can see here what I have on the board is I have the tiles facing this sand tile up this way. So you can see that sand tile up because on the back of it is something else, and that'll become relevant in a minute. But what I have is I have it facing 5 this way and 5 this way. Then I have these little sand tiles facing this way and not this way in this diamond-shaped pattern on the board. And this becomes important. So let's talk about the premise of the game and how you win the game and the object of the game. So the premise of the game is that you and your companions, you can play between 2 and 6 players, have crash landed in this desert place. And what you have to do is you have to find this flying object in order to get off the island. So, or not the island, but out of the desert. That's the object of the game, is to find this. Okay, but this is broken. So you have to find all the pieces that go to this as well. And here are the pieces. You have your power source, you have your engine, and you have your compass, and you have your propeller, and they all go onto this thing. So the propeller goes here, the power source goes here, the engine goes here, and the compass goes here. And once you have all 4 pieces, you find out where this is, you and your friends can get out of this desert. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to decide who you're going to be. And there are 6 possible people that you can be. You can be the explorer, you can be the meteorologist, you can be the navigator, you can be the climber. Each one of these there's 6 of them. There's the water carrier, and then there's the archaeologist. Okay, and each one of these has special abilities that the other one doesn't have. So for example, the explorer can move diagonally and also clear sand off diagonally. So each one of these guys has special abilities that the other one might not have. The water carrier has the ability to share water in case you get too low. And the other thing you want to see on this is that you have a water level here that goes up and down, and you want to make sure you start it on this up position, okay? And if you get down to this position, you die, and you lose the game, and that'll become relevant in a minute as well. So you want to decide who you want to be, okay? So, and then the next thing you want to find out is where you start, and where you start is represented by the little pawns down here on the corner. So wherever these things, you shuffle it up, you lay it out, wherever those things landed, that's where you are, okay? So let's just say I'm just going to go red and blue here for a second. Okay, so we're going to just pretend we're playing red and blue. So that's where you start, okay? So the object of the game is to find these 4 pieces, find where this is, these 4 pieces, find where your flying craft is, get to that square, and then get out of this desert before the desert kills you. Okay, so that's the object. Well, how do you die? Well, you die. By the way, this is another part of it too here. This is the sand level riser, and then it actually says it'll raise up, and if it raises up to that level, you're dead. Okay, so start on novice or start on elite. I don't care which one, but if it's 2 to 3 players, you start on this side, and if it's 4 to 6 players, you start on this side. So it's a little bit different depending upon how many players there are. Okay, so how do you play the game? Well, I think the best way is just to kind of show you. And then how do you die? And then, by the way, if one person dies, you all die. So you don't get to get off the island. Everybody's got to survive. So if you start with 6 players, all 6 of you have to survive. So how do you play? Well, each time you move, you can take up to 4 actions. And what are the actions? Well, the actions are you can move, and you can move orthogonally, okay, so up or down, whatever, depending. You can remove a sand tile, and you can flip a sand tile to find out what's under it. And you want to do that. You want to excavate. That's called excavating. So you can remove a sand tile, okay? You can move yourself, and you can flip. And there's also a couple other moves that you can do. You can give something to somebody or whatever, and here are the moves. You can move, you can clear sand, you can excavate, or you can pick up a part. So that's another thing you can do. When you get to a place where one of these parts are, you can pick up that part, but that's got to count as one of your moves. You pick up the part and then you put it into the flying thing. Okay, so here's how the game's played. So let's see what we got here. We've got blue and red. Okay, so you have the archaeologist and the water carrier. Okay, and so you can take 2 water from if you're a water. Well, I'll just play. So you can clear. The archaeologist can clear 2 sand from 1 tile per action. So he can clear 2 off. That becomes important in just a minute. So let's just say I'm playing here, and I'm going to take 4 moves. So I'm going to excavate 1, and that helps me because that actually shows me. You see that little thing circle down there? Well, that represents that compass. So now I know that the compass is in this row somewhere. Okay. So, and then where they are, they intersect is basically where it is. So I'm going to clear, I'm going to move, I'm going to take one of these tiles off, and then I am going to take one of these tiles off too. So that was 3, let's just say that's 3 moves. Now look at this. This has a little water thing under it. So, underneath that could be a well. It might be a well, it might not. There's 3 of these, and 2 of them have wells underneath in case you get low on water, but one of them's a mirage. So if you flip it over and it's a mirage, then you just wasted your turn. Okay, so now what do you do after you've made your move? After each person's made his move, whatever this is set to is how many of the sand cards or the storm cards you draw. So you have this on novice. So after each move, so I move before the other person can move, I have to draw 2 of these sand cards, okay? And these are your bad cards. These are the ones that are trying to get you. So I've got 2 of them here, and the first one says, oh, the storm picks up. Move the sandstorm meter up 1 marker. So on that one, I had to move the sandstorm marker up 1. So now I was at novice, but now I'm at normal, and now the next time, you see how it says 3 there? The next person who moves, now he has to move it 3 times. Okay, all right. So then the next sandstorm here, oh, that said pick up sand. Oh, it's pick up storm again. Well, let's pretend I got something else so you can kind of see what else is in there. Okay. Pick up storm. Good night. Got a lot of pick up storms. I wonder if I shuffled these right. Okay. Here's a sun beats down. So here's the sun beats down, and each player loses 1 water unless they're in a tunnel or under a solar panel, which we'll talk about in a minute. So now you see, oh, I got 2, and now everybody has to lower their water down 1. Okay, so you have to lower your water down 1 because you picked up a sand card. Okay, so now this person says, oh, I'm going to move. So let's do 4 moves. So let's flip that over, and then that's cool. That was 1 move, and then guess what he got? Look at that. See that little thing at the bottom? That's a gear card. Those are your specialty cards. So if you have a gear card, you pick it up out of here, and it gives you a specialty move on here, and there are several specialty moves that you can do. So this is a solar shield. So next time this sun beats down card is up, and I've got this card, I don't lose any water. I just have to shuffle it back into the deck, though, because you can only spend this one time. You can't keep picking these up. You can only pick it up if you're on the gear card, and that's it. That's the first time. So you can't like re-pick it up. You can't go back to that gear card and re-pick it up. So once you're done spending it, you're done spending it. So he has one of these, and it doesn't count as one of his moves, so he would keep that. So 1, 2, and then let's just say here 3, and then look, another gear card that this person has is another gear card. Okay, so now he gets another gear card, and he gets a jetpack, and the jetpack can move you to any unblocked tile on the board. Okay, so but now we have to draw 3 storm cards. So what is the next 3 storm cards this person's going to draw? Gosh darn it. Let's get some. So now this becomes important. So now we have directional cards. So check this out. So this is important because you see how that moves 1. So it moves over this way. So your storm moves over. And every time a tile moves, you have to put storm or a desert card on it. One of those things on it. Okay. Now it moves down. See that? Now it moves. Now this moves down into the empty spot. Now the second time you put your sand tile on it, you have to put it up here like this in that position. And the reason why you have to put it in that position is now this is blocked. You can't move on it, and if you're on it, you can't get off of it until it's excavated, until all the sands move. So if I was on it, I'd be buried. And so my next 2 moves would be to get these off of there. Okay, so every time this moves, and then here's the third one. The third one is, you see that moves that way. So that moves that way. And now you put another sand card on top of there like that. Okay? That makes sense? Now, this continues to move. And remember, one of your movements is to take these off so you can look at what's underneath them. And so you have to take that off to find out what's underneath it. So if I wanted to move, I'd have to take that off. I'd have to find out what's underneath it. And look, I found an engine piece. The engine's going to tell me. So I know now that the engine's going to be in this row somewhere. So let's just, for example, say that's basically how the game's played. Now, you have to take these pieces off because one of the ways that you can lose the game is if all these tiles end up on all the places, or if you run out of these tiles because you've just used them too many times, you also lose the game. So getting rid of these sandstorm tiles is really super important. But basically what you want to do is you want to, just for the sake of the game here, let me find one of these pieces. Oh, look. So let's say, see, now we know where this is. So this is here. So all of you guys have to get to here. And you can use your specialty powers as well. And there's a gear card. Let's see, what else do you need to know? Another gear card. Okay, so there's a well. So let's say I was really thirsty. I'd have to make it over this well, and then my water level rises. And I believe it rises too. So if you get a sun beat down card and you're over here and you're like, oh, there's a well over there, or somebody's turned over a well, you want to get to the well. And there's another well card. There's another gear card. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of what I wanted you to see. So see how you have these 2 cards right here. They are both pieces of this of the ship that you have to repair. Okay, so basically what has to happen then is where these 2 things intersect is where that piece goes. So now you found a piece. So the next thing, so let's say I was here. The next thing I would do is I would want to go here and pick that up and put that on the machine, and then find all those pieces and get back. One other thing I think I didn't discuss, here's a tunnel card. Tunnel cards are important as well because they can move you from tunnel to tunnel. So let's just say there's a tunnel card here, and there's nothing there. Oh, look, a propeller piece. So, that you're going to find these pieces. That's what you want to do. You want to excavate to find these pieces. I cannot find another tunnel here to save my dang life. Oh, there we go. So there's another tunnel card right here. Now this really isn't helping us out in this game, but if the tunnel card was up here, just for example, and I was here, I could travel from this tunnel card to this tunnel card in one move and get closer to the ship. Okay, just for an example. But tunnel cards are also important because if you get one of those sun beats down cards, and you're in a tunnel, it doesn't affect you. So being in a tunnel is good. But you can see these have gear cards on them, and every time you get a gear card, you get to pick one of these up, and it gives you special moves. And basically the idea is every time the storm moves, you have to put one of those on there, and you can't pick anything up on there if there's a desert card on there. And it can get as many as it gets. So if the next one moved that way, you'd put another one on. If the next one moved that way, you'd put another one on. And you'd have to excavate all of that in order to get what's underneath that card. And if you're buried on it, you can't move. And if you need to move to get up to your ship, you have to excavate it because you can't move on that piece. So I think that's it. I think that's basically how the game's played. Other than that, well, let's play the game and then let's do the review. All right, so we've played it, and what did you think?
A lot of fun, actually. It's challenging. You can choose how difficult the game starts off.
Well, we start off first of all on two.
Yeah, we started off
novice.
on the novice, normal difficulty.
Because that's as hard as I wanted to go on the first one.
And then the next bout, we bumped it up to the next hardest, which is epic. We didn't try it on legendary.
No.
We could have. I think with our luck, we might have gotten it.
Right.
But
and we played 2 games.
Yep.
And we made sure that we switched players out, so we got to play 4 people.
Yeah, we got to play
together.
4 out of 5.
There was 2 that we didn't get to play, and that was we didn't get to play 4 out of 6. So we didn't get to play the climber
or the water carrier,
or the water carrier, but we did get to play all the other ones.
Yep, we got to play the archaeologist, the navigator, the meteorologist, and the explorer.
So what was your favorite one so far?
Well, it's hard not. I can't really have a favorite because the roles, well, they're really well defined. They have a purpose. Archaeologist, useful because you can clear off 2 tiles in one action. So if you got one that's stacked up 8 tall, you can clear all of it off.
Yeah.
Without having to utilize any of the special equipment that you can find. The explorer is really useful, so that way you can start uncovering things because you're able to move in a diagonal pattern as well. So,
and it's a quick play
cover
game.
More. Yeah,
we played 2 games in about an hour.
Yeah,
so
roughly.
We started it about an hour ago.
Yeah, we did.
So 2 games in about an hour, but the second game kind of went quickly because some things fell in our favor.
Yeah, things definitely clicked into place for us. Yeah.
So it probably in 2 games would take more like maybe an hour and a half,
yeah,
hour
roughly
and 15 minutes, something like that.
It would be
normally.
I'd say it's balanced too, because for 2 people, it's still, you have to cooperate with each other. With 5 people, because of the way the game's set up, it can get brutal. I can see it getting brutal really quick, especially with everyone having to draw those 3 cards. Or the 2 if you're starting off on easier difficulty.
I think if there's more people, you should
Yeah.
probably start off on easy. 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, if there's 4 people and each person's got to flip over 3 or 4 cards each time,
Yeah.
that's going to be right off the bat anyway.
Yeah,
that's
like
gonna
next thing
be-
you know, Storm picks up 2 times in a row, and you're like, oh, well, I guess we're on 5.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I also enjoy the cooperation together. Although working against each other for a board game is fine too. That's a lot of fun as well. But I do really like the whole idea of cooperating against the game.
Yeah,
That
and
was-
the fact that all of you have to make it out. If one person goes down, it's like, oh, well, he's just gone. We
Yeah.
can keep going. It's like, no, he's
Every-
dead. We're all dead.
I kind of wonder what it would be like if we made our own rule and then
Yeah,
if
like
one
if someone-
person
yeah.
dies and whatever. But,
Like, so you can keep going, but like decrease in morale, you have 1 reduced action.
yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, that would be interesting. So
So
think about that: Forbidden People, Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Island, and there's another one actually called Forbidden Sky, which is another game that's like that. And I did play Forbidden Island. Was actually the first game that I played for this, and it's almost identical except for you're on an island
Instead of on a desert, the
Yeah.
island's flooding, but the desert's just big
piling up
typical-
with sand.
yeah, it's just piling up like the Rubicali.
Yeah. All right. So, any final words as far as
I
review?
recommend it. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it. It's definitely a fun game. If you want a really slow game night, like just everyone coming together, having fun, working together, go with this. If you want to ruin friendships, go with Monopoly.
Yeah, that's probably one game I won't review on this. It's like I think I want to review games that are
Like,
more like
yeah.
interesting and not a lot of people play. We're not going to be reviewing Scrabble or Monopoly. I
Yeah.
did talk about chess on the last one, but I was just kind of more of a show you my chessboards that I have at home kind of a thing, rather than talking about the
Yeah.
game, because everybody knows how to play. Use a board gamer.
Almost
so
everyone.
how to play chess. Well, if you're a board gamer,
Yeah.
I'm going to say not everybody, but most people know how to play chess and Monopoly. And,
Or they at least have a general premise on how
Right.
to get started.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to play together with a bunch of friends, get Forbidden Desert or Forbidden Island, or as you were saying, Ian, Forbidden Sky.
yeah, for sure. All right, I'm Ian C, and I'm here with Ashton. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. And also, I just got it's not a Patreon, but it's like Patreon. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. And it'll be in the link below where you can actually, if you like what we're doing here and you want to donate and you want to see us play more of these games, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, share this on your favorite social media, and if you feel like you would like to donate and if you have an idea of a game that you want us to play or me to play, if my friend's not here, but I'll play it for sure. Leave that in the comments section below. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Board Game Life.